In this section, we are going to talk about metric conversions, which are actually very easy to do. Now, I've got these abbreviations up here, KHDUDCM, and an acronym I like to use is Kids Have Donuts Until Dad Calls Mom. It's a nice acronym. Now, the U is going to stand for units at the beginning, and K is going to stand for kilo, H for hecto, D for deca. The U is just a holder position there. Then we have deci, centi, and milli. Now, there are other prefixes. If we were to go further to the left, we'd have mega, giga, tera. And on the other end, we'd have micro, nano, and pico as we got to smaller and smaller units. Now, everything in the metric system is based upon a power of 10. Notice we start in the center with a single unit, and we go to the left, we have deca representing 10, hecto representing 100, and kilo representing 1,000. Likewise, deci is 1/10, centi is 1/100th, and milli is 1/1000th. And it's really useful to use this Kids Have Donuts Until Dad Calls Mom type of abbreviation to help us do this conversion back and forth. Now, the unit in the center here can either be M representing meters, and that's when we're dealing with length, G representing grams when we're dealing with weight, and L, usually it's a capital L, for liters when we're dealing with capacity. So, for example, this K could represent kilometers or kilometers, it could represent kilograms, or it could represent kiloliters. Likewise, we can do the same with these other prefixes. Now, since we have two D's, usually for decameters we'd have DKM or DAM, and for the decimeters we'd use DM, and it's usually a single D for deci. Okay, let's start with our first conversion here. Let's say we have 323 centimeters, and we want to know how many kilometers this is going to be. What you would do is you'd say, I'm starting here at centimeters. I would rewrite Kids Have Donuts Until Dad Calls Mom. Notice I'm going here from centimeters over to the left to kilo. And I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions to the left. 323 has the decimal off to the right already, and I'm going to move it 5 positions to the left also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Insert a couple of placeholder zeros, and the 0 and the decimal out front. And so this would be 0.00323 kilometers. It's that easy to do these conversions. Next, let's start with 4.7 kilometers and see how many centimeters that turns into. Again, I'm going to begin with Kids Have Donuts Until Dad Calls Mom. I'm going from kilo over to centi, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions to the right. So I take my 4.7 and move the decimal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places to the right, and insert zeros as necessary. And so this would be 740,000 centimeters. Now let's convert 22.7 hectograms into milligrams. And so again, Kids Have Donuts Until Dad Calls Mom. We're going from hecto to milli. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions to the right. So we take our 22.7 and move the decimal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions to the right, inserting zeros as necessary, and we would have 2,270,000 milligrams. Okay, it's that easy anytime you are converting within this unit system. Let's do one more before we start throwing some twists in. Let's take 185 milliliters and see how many liters that is. We're using liters as our key unit this time. Kids Have Donuts Until Dad Calls Mom. We're going from milliliters to just the regular units, which is liters this time. 1, 2, 3 positions to the left. 1/885 has its decimal after the 5, moving it 3 places to the left now moves it to the left of the 1, and we would have 0.185 milliliters. Since the metric system is based upon powers of 10, and because our number system is based upon powers of 10, it's a very easy conversion process. Now, when we start talking about medical terminology, we need to have the prefix micro. And I'm going to skip 2 positions here and then put a little MC, which stands for micrometers. Now, the reason I'm skipping 2 positions here is because we do not have Latin prefixes for 1/10,000th or 1/100,000th, but we do have one for 1/1,000,000th. Now, sometimes we use MC, or sometimes if you're looking at your bottles of medicine, you notice this symbol here. That's the Greek letter mu, which stands for micro in this case. Now, let's pretend you're looking at a bottle of your vitamins, and you notice that one ingredient has 2,000 micrograms, and you want to know how many grams is that. Well, again, we'd have kids have donuts until dad calls mom. Skip 2 position to get to the mic position or micro position. Since we are going from micro all the way over to the regular grams unit position, we would move our decimal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places to the left. Now, our decimal is normally after the 2,000. In this case, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 more places to the left, needing those placeholder zeros there and a leading 0 out front. So we would have 0.002 grams as being equivalent to 2,000 micrograms. Likewise, we may be asked to convert 50 milligrams into micrograms. So again, kids have donuts until dad calls mom, position, position, micro. We're going from milligrams to micro, which is 3 positions to the right. So we're going to take our 50, which has the decimal there, move the decimal 3 places to the right, and we now have 50,000 micrograms. So that's really all there is to converting metric units. Good luck.